Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc. Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode as I sort through a trailer full of antiques and try and figure out what the heck we bought in here. Look, there's a Melissa. She wasn't there before. Melissa is helping me to empty out the trailer right now. And already some of the first boxes she's brought out are kind of interesting, so let me show you. I like that you stopped. As soon as I put the camera on, Melissa stopped like she was a mannequin. Action pose. Okay, we found a whole bunch of old Orange Crush bottles. We found a couple early. This is Halifax. Hunt and Horsefield. They had it listed at $55. See, it's got that little marble in there as a stopper. So if you tip it upside down, that marble stopper prevents it. So if you want to drink it, you have to drink it that way. It's kind of neat, I think. So drink the bottle this way, the stopper gets trapped. If you don't want the fluid to come out, the marble will stop it. And there's a couple of those. Really interesting design, these bottles. But I did just find this one was also marked bottles in glass. These are old milk bottles, but it's these Edmonton City Dairy. This is called Applied Label. This sort of coloring on the bottle makes it way more collectible than your standard glass bottle, which this probably is. Oh no, that's got one too. Okay, if it's just glass and there's no writing on it, they're really not desirable by collectors unless you're using them as a craft or something. Like, see, that one's blank. So anytime you see one that has the Applied Label, the color on it, that means, yeah, that's a good one too.
I think they all have.
Maybe this box is the more special box. I feel like I'm getting bitten by a mosquito right now while I go through. Mosquitoes know when your hands are full of stuff and they take advantage of it. Yeah, okay, these are all actually pretty good. Edmonton City Dairy, Palm Dairies. There's not too much for me to take out. This whole box is good, which means this whole box, like, why are they showing the back end of the cow? That doesn't make me feel like milk. It's got its leg up in the air.
Yeah.
With udders hanging out.
That's the business end.
The business end of the cow. Anyway, that's pretty good so far.
Even this one has a...
Yeah. Edmonton City Dairy.
Yep.
Neat. Okay, I'm going to get these sorted. Wait.
Completely different than bottles.
Oh. Barbie.
But with the campers.
Yeah, she's got a dune buggy pulling a trailer. No roll cage or helmet. Barbie's living on the edge. This is the 1970s, silly. We didn't believe in safety. Ha ha ha. Did you ever have that?
Maybe. It feels familiar.
It's basically the same exact vehicle as a big gym camper. Except that's the Barbie one.
I can't remember how it all works.
Yeah, you're on the right track. That slides out. It's got a door on the other side, actually.
Oh, big shocker. I took out the windscreen.
Oh. Yeah, that is the windscreen, isn't it?
See?
That needs to go back in. 1971 it's dated. It looks like it hinges in. I'll take a minute and I'll clip that back in.
Off, I think, on this, right?
Well, don't take it all apart.
I'm not.
I know you and your history of windshields. Okay, I don't know if there's even anything in here. Open it up and look. What's that? Like a skee ball kind of thing? It's gonna fall out. Part of an operation game. Here's part of the Barbie stuff though. Whoa, down at the very bottom of the box. Little Barbie TV, that goes in yours. That goes with the camper. Oh, actually this camp stool might go in this box. She's sitting on, my forensic science tells me that's the same camp stool. But I don't think the TV would have gone in.
Maybe, but she has a TV already in here. Why?
Oh yeah, she doesn't need two TVs. Well, this is Barbie. She has like hot tubs and swimming pools, and Barbie is rolling. She can have two TVs in her camper if she wants to. You go, girl. This box contained an American-made electric fancy pants clock with the matching lamps, and I've got lampshades for it, so that's a whole set there. Clock and matching lamps. They had it priced at one time at $100. What it will go for is anybody's guess, but it is pretty cool. I'll give it that. You have no idea how happy I am about this box. You know why?
Because it's lamp.
Because it's lamp?
Chimneys.
I thought you were just going to stop at lamp. No, I open it up, and yes, there are chimneys, and I need a chimney, but it has to be an Aladdin chimney, exactly like this. I need 2 of them for the Aladdin lamps that I have, so that was a missing part. I actually went to an antique store the other day looking for them. They didn't have any.
Well, good thing, because we had them.
Well, I know I would have felt silly, but you know how impatient I am. The amount of times I've bought something twice because I couldn't wait.
That's very true.
Wait, are you agreeing with me?
Oh, yes. I think everyone knows.
That's like a little Aladdin lamp. I mean, Aladdin, not the brand, but anyway, you know what I mean. Singing us a song?
Yeah, Aladdin.
Okay, this is mostly chimneys. I think I'm going to set this one aside because I might find the lamp bases for these and need them. So no point selling or doing anything with this just yet. I guess I could put that. That's complete. That one, yeah, we can just put that one on the ground. Yeah, but I'm happy because now I can actually dig out the Aladdin lamps that I got and piece them back together. Speaking of lamps, oh look,
Juicer.
yeah, they're good.
Still my favorite juicers are those types.
I know, they work really well. People at home are probably like, yeah, I thought it's a butter dish. Antique butter dish, and then there's a couple of these. Hans was here earlier, and I guess what will be the last episode, and he dropped off a couple lamps exactly like this.
Huh.
Oh, and he said, what are they worth? And I said, I don't know, maybe like $60. Well, they had 75 on that, which I think is high. There's probably a reason why some of this stuff is in this box. What do we have? What is this? It's a horsey?
Oh.
Headless horse?
Like a donkey.
No, it's a horse. Because look, there's the jockey. It's a cookie jar.
It's not a cookie jar. He has a hole in the mouth.
Oh, it's a teapot.
It's probably like a creamer or...
No, it's a teapot.
Because he has a hole.
The horse could like puke your tea into your cup for you.
Wow.
I told you not to go so fast.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, well, we got a couple interesting lamps in here.
Is that a match?
Yeah, it's enough of a match.
Yeah.
Occupied Japan. Okay, well, this box can go out as it is, more or less, and that is just like a little gravy boat glass. So we'll put this whole box out. Antique lamps. We'll just tuck that down the side. Perfect. What have you done?
It's been going for a while already.
Yeah, you wound up the little baby toy. This whole box is full of baby stuff. There's a Mickey Mouse roly-poly toy, probably from the 70s. All sorts of bottles. That's okay, we got a soundtrack now. Little silver-plated baby cups. But more importantly, baby's first ashtray.
Wow.
It's a plate of some kind. Obviously not an ashtray.
Oh
Hey, if it was in the 50s, my dad told me a story about some kids he went to school with that were like 9 back in the 50s and they all smoked. I think people had a different outlook on that stuff back then. Anyway, whole box of vintage baby stuff. They can go out the door, and I'm going to put your little musical baby thing back in there and it can go too. You weren't here earlier when I had the other quart sealer jars, but I said if you ever find the blue ones, those are better. And that's what we have here. We have a box. I don't know if you can see that it's tinted blue. These would predate 1920. They turned blue because they had manganese inside of it, which reacted over time and turned the glass this attractive sort of blue shade. It's a difference between basically a $5 jar and a $25 jar. So it does add quite a bit of value. So if you ever see blue glass on a jar, those are a little older. There's a Nabob coffee jar.
I think this one's blue too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
a
has
blue one too.
crown.
That's because it's a Crown Mason.
Eaton.
Oh, well, it's made for the Eaton Company. That's cool. Department store branded. Oh, there's plates at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
You never know. It's like you assume it's just
tiny
one
one.
thing, and then it's a whole other thing. Oh, there's Coke trays in there. Coca-Cola trays at the bottom of this box. The platters are okay, I guess. You don't have the rest of the set, as far as I know.
Could be in there.
I doubt it. I doubt it because they were selling them individually. It's got an individual price tag on it. But do have a few Coke trays. Now they're not super old, but you know, at $10 a pop or something like that. That's a nice little extra bonus in that box. Well, here I am going through a box and thinking, okay, well, I found some more blue glass mason jars, which is cool. And then I start digging more and I realize there's a bunch of somewhat oddball pop bottles, like Old Colony, which was by Orange Crush, Capital City, which was made in Edmonton. So a little bit more unusual bottles, another like torpedo bottle with a stopper in it. And then I see these. These are Stone Crock bottles. This is what predates the regular sort of soda bottle that we have now. You can see it was on sale from $65 down to $45. But that is a fairly collectible. There actually are quite a few people who collect these old crock bottles. And there's a few of them in here. You can see them wrapped up. They're worth a bit more if it's, early McLaughlin bottles. Frank Gray, Harwick. These look like they're English. Oh, yeah. The Here's a Porsche 911 Avon bottle. Still, I wonder if it still smells like old German car interior. This is the funny thing. You'd think I'd keep something like this, but I have no need. You can't see it. Anyway, I have one of those parked in the garage. I should use this to scent the interior, and people say, "Ooh, what's that smell?" Go, why? That's vintage Porsche, of course. Oh, okay. Another crock bottle, ginger beer bottle. All kinds of goodies at the bottom of this. It's actually another Old Colony. Wholesome, refreshing. Another Capital beverage bottle. I mean, Coke bottles are kind of a dime a dozen. You already saw how many Orange Crush bottles I found. So when you find something that's local, for me anyway, that's made locally and it's old, there wasn't a whole lot of those out there. So a little bit more on the collectible side. Well, that's a pretty good bin. I think I've got down to, most of the bottles are out of there now. Now I'm just down to mason jars. There's one old bottle here. Old medicine bottle, apothecary bottle. And Canada Dried ginger ale bottle, an old one. There's some nifty stuff in here. Well, a couple things that were surprising. One, this box, which had an old sort of broken lantern in it, which I should make sure it's not marked for railway. No, it is not. Also had a antique Jello mold. Kind of cool. Throw that in the box. And I'm rattling stuff around, and there's shells and gunpowder. You know, nothing like having shells and gunpowder rattling around. But at the bottom of that box, which I thought was really cool, was this. This is a tiny little lantern, and it would have come out of the coach of a railway car, like a passenger car. This is the Great Western Railway, so 1800s English. Mind you, they did have a Great West Railway in Canada too that ran to Saskatchewan, but I don't know that it was from this era. This is likely the English one, but that's really cool. That's an antique passenger car railway lantern at the bottom of a box with Jello molds and gunpowder. Unfortunately, the glass has been shattered and somebody's mended it with Scotch tape. I shouldn't say mended, held it together. But, you know, that is a pretty special find. I think that's really cool. As well as, this was just so random. It's the Woo Woo Welch's grape juice drum. And there's a couple of these in here. Just the most random stuff, you know, ice buckets, Singer sewing machine, feed and parts, spats for that fancy boy. I used to want a pair of spats. I think I had a pair of spats. I'm not too proud to admit that I wanted to be a fancy lad. We got sad iron parts. That's what's in the bottom of these boxes. You can feel I know what they are without even taking one of the paper. But for the sake of you folks at home, I will take one out. That's a sad iron. In fact, the reason they call the Flatiron Building in New York the Flatiron Building is because it looks like a flat iron. See? That's a Flatiron. The Flatiron Building in New York is named after one of these. It says right on it, sad iron. Oh, it would have little handles that could clip into the side of it. You'd have a few going on your stove at once, and then as your iron cooled off, you can pick up another hot one. Still a few boxes. I'm almost at the end of my trailer, which is good. I can see a bit of the floor. There's still a lot of stuff in here, but I am making some progress, and that's making me feel good today. Finally decided to have a look inside of this wooden crate, and it's actually an old toolbox and full of antique tools. We've got saws, hand saws. Oh, this is a brass, that's for a fire nozzle. Solid brass. Is there another one in there? Little pumps, braces. Neat assortment of stuff in here. And a few things that I could sell on their own, like these antique Red Devil tools. So this says it's a rabbiting tool. That's a grooving tool, slicing tool. So kind of a neat little set here. There was an old 1960s Alberta license plate and just a variety of other neat things. We are nearing the end of getting this stuff offloaded. I've got Melissa helping me today, and we're here at the auction getting some of the last of this stuff set up, which is good because they said they're starting to inventory it tomorrow, which is going to be great timing because I almost have it done at my end too. So everything's turning up rosy so far. You won't believe this, guys. This is the first time that I've actually kind of run out of room. I've run out of room at the auction. There was so much stuff that came out of that house. I didn't realize, we have all these boxes, that it actually filled up this whole space with all this stuff. Now this auction is going to be going live, I think, right around July 20th or 22nd. I'll post a link to that once we know all the details to it once it's up there. But actually right around the time this video posts, this auction will be happening. So stay tuned for that, kauctions.ca. But just look around and you can see all the things that came out of it. Like the Beverly Hillbillies lunch kit and this cool little Santa ornament, because why not? Or the antique tins, mixers, cow horns, steer horns, why not? Mickey Mouse, flower pot, just the list goes on and on. All these old and cool and antique bottles that we ended up finding. So this should be and should prove to be a pretty interesting sale. If there's things that you didn't see, things that you saw in the episode that you wanted to buy and didn't make it to this auction, I will have to do kind of a follow-up sale because I still have stuff. I still have a trailer that is packed full of things that couldn't make it down here because they're just out of room. This is the first time I've actually run out of room at the auction. But guys, quite the adventure. It took me weeks to try and get this all put together. But here's the thing. The purchase price on all this, $2,700, not that much. The effort to get this all brought down, inventoried and tagged and put out was huge. And so that's where you're really getting paid for your effort for doing this. So we will see, we'll do a follow-up video when the auction happens and hopefully we'll share with you how everything turns out. As for me, I've got to get back home and do some more sorting, organizing, because my job never seems to end, and that's part of the fun of being in this business. But guys, if you want to check out the auction, again, kauctions.ca. As for me, I'm back to work. I've got another collection to go look at this afternoon. We'll see what we can find there. Have a wonderful day, guys. Check out the auction sale, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure to do that because there's always cool stuff happening. And the goal of this episode, the goal of this series is to show you, if you put that effort in, what you can actually accomplish by flipping and moving it into another direction. So I'll let you know what the profit was on this, and we're going to take that profit. This should be fun. I'm going to take the profit from this sale and we're going to go buy one crazy thing as an investment and see what we can translate this into, what we can turn it into. So should be kind of cool. Plus we were able to donate a whole pile of stuff out of here and help some folks out. So it ended up being a really good deal all the way along. So guys, thanks very much for watching. We'll see y'all soon. And as always, bye for now. Bye guys.